Greetings. Welcome to the Captive Desk. This past week, I attended two funerals. My neighbor lost his wife of 64 years. He was devastated. And my uncle passed away as well, leaving his second wife of 40 years heartbroken, as well as many family members and friends. Once again, I am seeing my place in the queue, as my uncle was the last member of the family of elders I had from my youth. My parents are gone, grandparents are gone, my mother's brother is gone, and now it's me. It's very sobering when you realize, by the odds and family history, I won't be here in another 25 years either. It may come sooner or later, but it's coming. It shows itself in gray hairs and lines showing in my face. It shows with aches and pains and needing a nap, when just yesterday it seems I could burn the candle at both ends and still have energy left. When the whole world was out in front of me. And getting old was a thing that wouldn't come for a long time, and very few worries about, is this pain the one that takes me out? My age shows in my children growing into young men when I was just holding them as newborns. It shows in the pets that have passed away. It shows in the little tree that was in my yard when I moved in, that is now towering over the yard and giving it shade. That wasn't there, that again seems like just yesterday. It shows when we celebrate our wedding anniversaries and when those birthdays come around and the reminders surface again and again that time is running short and that damn Reaper knows it. As a materialist and non theist, I understand that biologically our time is finite, that biologically and chemically we are no different than anything else in the universe. Everything has a time, and everything is recycled back in eventually. There's a great awe in knowing someday everything that makes up my body will be something else. Those elements I am borrowing for now, maybe a flower or another planet or another human life yet to be born. Some beliefs and religions stem from the idea of a cyclical way of things, and some see life as such too. Reincarnations and afterlives of many sorts are aplenty in many systems of beliefs. As human beings, we are conscious. We know we are alive, and we know we will die. Some other species demonstrate at least some form of consciousness too, and seem to have some understanding of death, in some cases mourning their dead in various ways. It is also that same consciousness that has us asking questions through time of why have a consciousness and a brain filled with memories only to be lost to time when we are gone. For some folks, it all remains a mystery, and we shall see. Others take comfort in religions and beliefs in afterlives of many sorts. Some are fine with being part of the great cosmic experiment and roll with it. I think the part of death that bothers me the most is missing everyone. Missing loved ones and pets and music and the sun warming these old bones in spring. I am pretty sure that everything we are is just a product of the brain. But do I know that for 100% certain? No. And so the mystery can creep in, and the pondering of what if there is something after death, Or what if there is nothing after death as well? If energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only its form altered, are we in some way immortal and infinite? Is there any way for energy to hold on to memories without a physical storage device like our brain? What about people who have near death experiences? Many seem to be cultural and religious based, but some are not. And once again, a bit of mystery is there. Does life recycle the same energy in new life forms? Is there something beyond our understandings of energy and consciousness? I don't know, but it rolls through my mind. When I was at the funerals this past week, they had a lot of photos and videos running. All the life memories from playing sports and being in scouts and riding bikes, birthdays to graduations, first cars, girlfriends and boyfriends, the wedding photos, the baby photos, the silly pictures of silly moments caught on film with everyone just enjoying the moment and laughing. Immortalized in photo or on film, moments in time, forever in those moments in time. And the questions creep back in. What was it all about? Is it just a lot of bonuses we get as conscious beings? Is there a part of the brain that loves life and why we have such powerful and emotional memories implanted in our psyche? Is it all just one big overriding system of emotions to help us forget about knowing we are going to die that keeps us going in spite of it? Is there a meaning to life beyond biology? Beyond living long enough to reproduce? Is that all there is? Or is it a combination of things? While I am not religious, I can and do understand the big questions, as they are often called. Why are we here? Why is the universe here? Why is there life? Why are some life forms conscious and others not? Or are they, and we just can't detect it? Is the fly on the wall I am at, looking back at me and wondering what the heck I am doing at that desk tapping on a keyboard? Does a fly mourn the loss of another fly? I know humans mourn, and I know my dogs have mourned losing another dog. I have seen videos of elephants mourning and birds mourn that are paired for life, at least in some way. What it is exactly, no one knows. Then the questions arise about an afterlife. Do I want an afterlife? Do I want to do it all over again and over again and over again? Do I want there to be a heaven in the clouds where dead people hang out waiting for others to die? Do I want to be a bee or a bird or a hippo in another life? If there is reincarnation, what is the end game? Is there an end to it? Is the idea to achieve another level of consciousness, to sample different types of life's consciousnesses? Afterlives raise many questions too. Can I ever be at peace with death like Siddhartha was, like Thich Nhat Hanh was? Or will I go kicking and screaming? Will I go like my parents, where something popped in their brain and lights out? Will I linger and waste away because my body just won't let go like my mother in law did, who was on the brink numerous times and came back fighting for every moment of life, even if it's in a hospital bed for those few extra months of time before she inevitably passed away? One thing is for sure: Talking about or thinking about death makes me sad. And probably does for you too. And maybe that's why we just don't think or talk about it that much. Best to just not think about it, as that day will come soon enough. But there is a need to talk about it, to share thoughts on it, to maybe come to a conclusion that either settles the soul or stirs it up. And I use soul in a general way, non-specific to any beliefs, but rather my own understanding of the world. I see the soul like karma. It's who we are. The one thing that separates all conscious beings is the individuality of the soul, or karma. No two are the same, and no one can take it from you or give it to you. It's yours, and yours alone to do with as you wish. I am aware of the physical, material thing we call life and the brain, and I also understand pondering life and death and why so many beliefs and religions and fields of science explore things like consciousness and the origins of life and trying to communicate with other species to see if they are thinking anything at all and what it is they are pondering. I saw an episode of Closer to Truth where the guest said, "We are searching for alien life on other planets because we are lonely. We only have other humans to talk to. And while the discussions can be as diverse as people are, they are ultimately only from a human perspective. What do other life forms think about? It would be fascinating to know what a life form from across the galaxy or the universe is thinking about right now. Is it pondering life and death? Does it have a better understanding of consciousness, life, and death? Then more questions arise. Could an advanced species tweak their genetics to heal themselves and basically become immortal? Would evolution ever reach that point naturally, or would it have to be artificially introduced? Could you ever put your consciousness into a computer and live on artificially as long as there are databases? There are so many things to ponder, so many what ifs, so many beliefs. And I am still left with raw, basic human emotions that make me sad when someone dies. But it is not really just a sad emotion, it's a combination of emotions. Many of them thinking about the good times. That brings the tears. And how can all that huge amount of information we have stored away from hopefully many decades of life can come crashing to a halt? It is difficult to fathom all that is going on in my mind right now will stop. The decades of learning, feeling, and experiencing so many things, way too many to even begin to count, was all for and because of an evolutionary advantage to survive? Okay, that makes sense. As a materialist, as someone who embraces all that science can teach us and knows about many things, including not detecting any signals from the brain after someone dies or from another species that dies. All electrical activity ceases. Yet, that same brain that has evolved to give us consciousness also gives us the pondering of life, wondering about the great mysteries, wondering what will come after we are gone, wondering if there are spiritual things going on, questioning if there are things we cannot comprehend yet to come. Can this belief be true? Can that belief be true? Can I hope for a heaven or a reincarnation? Or do I make a concession that for all we know right now is someday everything in this mind that's going on right now is going to stop doing every last function and become what exactly? Food for bacteria we host? Food for all the species that dispose of dead things? Is the apparent cyclical way of things to be accepted and find peace with it? Or does the brain require a belief to make peace with death? I do know that death brings up powerful emotions. I have been feeling overwhelmed, and it's not the first time, and it won't be sadly the last time that death has to be dealt with. We have to mourn, we have to move on, and we will have emotional days when something sparks a memory of someone no longer with us. Maybe that's all it really is. We are conscious. We have emotions, and they are very powerful things. They burn certain memories in our brains, seemingly reinforced tenfold, and all that makes us conscious and all the advantages that come with it also bring a curse we have to deal with as well. The loss of innocence, the realization that we are not special while being oh so special for a short period of time in a universe that we could be the only conscious beings in to even have the thinking processes to try and understand it all a little better. And the true wonder of life is the experience of it, even as short as it may be, as the culmination of the universe looking back unto itself. In Zen Buddhist teachings, there is the concept of no birth and no death, just a continuation. And it would seem that the universe is that way, and it's a brute fact that because the way the universe is, there is the possibility of life to emerge, to enjoy it all and be a part of it all, but not separated from it at any point in the continuance. Perhaps that is what I will rest my mind on when it comes to death. Death is not an end. It's part of the continuation that began 14 billion years ago and continues on. I wanted to conclude my death talk on a light note. To my wife, most special person in the world to me, thank you. To my sons that I see myself in, and I am very proud of the young men they have become, thank you for one of the greatest gifts in life, being born. And my being there to experience it all was so overwhelmingly special and part of what makes this short ride oh so wonderful. To all those who have shared my life with me, thank you. To all those friends in my life, thank you. And to all the other species that have shared my life with me, thank you. And for the good and bad that comes from this consciousness, however it emerged, I guess I see consciousness as a very special gift. And for that, I am grateful to that spark that occurred in a past ancestor, whatever it was, however it happened, that went from just surviving to becoming aware of it all. Sorry, I tried to make it through without a tear, but it just wasn't possible. Thanks for listening. May you live long and prosper.